Hey, okay, here we go. We're trying it again. Okay, well, I'm officially convinced that Friday the 13th is in full force, and we are back. Yes, hello, Marks. I I don't know if it's working on Facebook, but thank you for letting me know that we're working on YouTube. I'm convinced that Friday the 13th is having an effect on things because let me tell you, let me tell you what happened leading up to tonight's live. Okay, this is what happened. So I was watching a little TV, and I left my TV on. Oh, you just spilled root beer on your sock? Well, you've just proven my point. Hello, Samantha. Happy live draw to you too. Um, okay, so here's what happened, and I'm gonna need someone to verify for me that Facebook is also streaming. It may not be. I might only be live on YouTube. And at this point, I've already restarted once. I'm not going to restart it again. I don't know. It says on my screen that we're on Facebook and YouTube. So according to what I'm looking at, it should be fine. Uh, anyway, so right before I go live, I was watching some TV and I left my TV on. Sometimes I do that because typically after I do a live, I head back to my other room and I'll put on something else just to unwind for the rest of the night if I don't feel like scanning the drawings that I drew during the live stream. So I just left it on because I'm just like, it's on for an hour, then whatever. And I don't typically do that, but it happens sometimes, or I get absent-minded. So I come in here and something was a little bit wonky. My web browser wasn't loading Facebook properly, and I wanted to check a couple things before I went live. So I was reading that if you clear out your history and your cache or cache, whatever you want to call it, if you clear all that stuff out, I didn't clear out my passwords. I just cleared out like history and all that stuff. And I hadn't done it for a long time, maybe even ever on this computer. So it took a while, but I feel like it did some kind of a whammy. Now I don't particularly think that my computer and my TV are tied together, but I do know they are tied together in some ways because I have certain shared accounts, but that really shouldn't be related to the two hardware pieces. It's more of like a shared account. So I don't think it was related at all, okay? But all of a sudden, right after I cleared my history on my browser, I start hearing my PlayStation in the other room beeping, and I look over the edge of past the door here to look in the other room, and I see my TV flickering, and there's nothing on it. And I'm like, maybe it just, sometimes it crashes. Maybe it just crashed. Okay, I'll get back to that later. Meanwhile, because I cleared all my history and my cache and all that stuff, Facebook is saying you need to reset your password now because someone's trying to get in, and it was me trying to get in. It wasn't somebody trying to get in. And so I go, all right, let's make a new password. So I'm sitting here coming up with a new password, and I go and change that. Meanwhile, I'm still hearing the PlayStation like beep, and I'm looking and I don't see anything. I just see the TV is turned off. So look, I have a pretty good patience threshold for stuff like this, but for whatever reason, maybe because it was like the minutes were getting closer to the live draw, and I was kind of feeling like that pressure. So I started to get a little bit agitated. So I make my new password and I run in the other room and I'm like, what is going on? I'm talking to my technology, right? Do you ever yell at your technology and just sort of get mad at it? So I'm kind of going like, what's the problem? What's going on? And I'm like pulling out power cords because it wasn't responding to my commands. I'm not sure if the PlayStation had a problem or if the TV had a problem. And I'm starting to think it was the TV, not the PlayStation. Well, what's weird about all of this, why am I telling you all this, is that like earlier this week, in fact, I believe it was yesterday, I had gone to Best Buy to help somebody look for a new TV. And while I was there, was kind of going, I kind of want to get a new TV as well because I don't have a 4K TV. I have some 4K media that I'd like to be able to play. I have the PlayStation. I have the HDMI cord. I just don't have the right TV for it. So, and I don't upgrade everything like some people do. I'm not buying the latest and greatest. Okay. This has been like a long time coming that I've been wanting to get a new TV. The TV I have right now, in fact, was given to me by a friend because they were getting rid of their TV. And so I don't know when I bought a TV last. It's been a while. It's been years. Okay. So I promise you the story is going to get more interesting. Just stick with me on this. So I'm in there and I'm like moving the TV around, and this TV is kind of annoying because it's a little bit, it's almost wide enough that it doesn't fit on the base that I have it on. It's like just barely, right? So I'm moving it around, trying to be careful, and like it slides off and like slams into my PlayStation. So now there's a big black gash on my white PlayStation. It's cosmetic. Maybe I can get it to buff out. I don't know. But I'm like, that only makes me more irritated. Okay. But then I'm just like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? So I finally I unplug the TV and I sit there and I'm like, come on, I got a few minutes. I can try to fix this in a few minutes. I turn the TV back on and it's just turning on and off. Like the screen is kind of getting lighter as if a light turned on, but you're not seeing anything. It's just like lighter. And so I'm thinking, okay, now I feel like it's the TV. Now I don't think it's the PlayStation anymore. So I'm just like, all right, you're just going to have to sit there and be broken because I have a live stream to go do. So I leave the room and I don't know what my TV's doing right now. I don't know what my PlayStation's doing right now. It's just sitting there doing whatever. I come in here and I think, all right, let's just get to it. I finally get logged in. I'm like, okay, good. I had to go back and forth between my phone and my desktop to prove it was me. It happened like a couple times. Like right after I changed my password, I go to the Facebook login page and I try to use my new password, and it's like, nope. We know you verified, but now we need you to verify again because now you're trying to sign in. With verify you before when you wanted to change your password. Now we want you to verify again when you want to use that password. That's kind of weird and insane. Okay, all right, Facebook, I'll play along. I do all of that. What you don't know is I use two different browsers. One browser is my main browser that I use throughout the week. And I have like a million tabs open because I'm just kind of an insane tab person. And I'm always like, oh, let me look at that later. I'll look at that later. And then by the end of the week, I have like 30 tabs and I have to go and start paring them back. Thank you for the thumbs up on Facebook, Ronan. That now tells me that people can see me on Facebook. I appreciate that. So I go into Chrome. Chrome is the browser that I use when I'm live streaming, okay? So I forgot that because I simulcast on YouTube and Facebook, that now Chrome wasn't going to know who I was either because I just changed my password because Facebook demanded it. Hello, Tanya Davis. Thanks for the thumbs up. So right as I'm going live, it gives me a warning saying, warning, we're not connected to your Facebook account right now. Great. That's great. I did not know that. And I'm already going live. So this is the second time I went live tonight because I shut it down so that I could show it. I could tell Chrome that it's me. And then I restarted the live. And what you're watching now is my second attempt. Because I could have stuck on the first one, but then I think it would have only been YouTube tonight, which is not a problem. I'm kind of favoring YouTube, but clearly some of you are giving me thumbs ups on Facebook. So there's a few of you watching on Facebook, and if I can keep simulcasting, I would rather do that. I think it's a little bit nice to give options to people. Not everybody is going to be on YouTube. Anyway, it's just feeling very Friday the 13th to me because here I was thinking yesterday I might need to get a new TV soon. Lo and behold, right now, just before I go live, my TV poops on me. And thank you for the heart on Facebook to Lauren Ortega. Thank you. So I mean, I'm not in a position right now where I was planning on buying a TV. I wasn't like of the mental and financial mindset that I was going to go and do that. And that sucks because I would rather wait for a 4th of July sale. Maybe I will. Maybe I just won't have a TV for a little while and I'll just watch stuff on my computer and my phone. How old's your TV? I don't know, because this one was given to me maybe like a year or two ago from a friend, because my other one had like a gash in it or something, and I was really kind of getting irritated about it. And that one was old. That one was like 5 to 7 years old. So then a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I'm upgrading. Would you like my old TV?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm not really big on the hand-me-down stuff. It's not like my favorite thing to do, but I really appreciate that." And it was a bigger TV than what I had. So I said, "Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I will take your TV." I don't know how old it is. I'm not particularly I don't feel bonded to this TV. It's only been mine for a year or two. And it's never worked exactly the way that I wanted it to. So I kind of want to get rid of it anyway. I just didn't want to get rid of it right now on Friday the 13th. That wasn't my plan. Something kind of spooky happened when I was walking the dog. I'll have to write this in sections. Oh yeah, I absolutely want to hear your spooky story. Absolutely. And I definitely want to get to the regular LiveDraw stuff that I was going to talk to you guys about tonight. But I had to tell you this stuff because literally everything was happening like right before I was going live, and I was getting very frazzled. What else happened in the last week? The chair that I'm sitting in right now, the part that I'm sitting on, the part where my rump is on the seat, is it's not fabric, it's not cloth, it's almost like a kind of parachute material, is starting to tear. That just happened in the last like week. Why is stuff breaking? I don't need stuff to break. I mean, the chair still works. I can still sit in it. But like ideally, I should be thinking about a chair replacement. It's not as comfortable as it was when I first got it. So it's not just the fact that there's a tear in it. It's also that it's not super comfortable. But I'm not ready to buy a chair and a TV at the same time. Oh, Mr. T-Boo is here. Hi, Mr. T-Boo. Thanks for being here. So that's how I'm starting my live stream tonight. Is I'm talking to you about stuff that I'm going to replace. Obviously, the TV is going to take precedent. That is where I like watch all my stuff, and occasionally I play a game. I don't game like I used to, because I'm in project mode, and I've been in project mode for multiple years now. So my gaming has taken a back seat. Maybe I'll game a little bit now more than I will watch anything. Maybe I'll just not watch anything for a couple of weeks. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if I can stay away. Oh, and if you notice me like having some weird indigestion stuff, an hour ago I was eating some M&Ms, and for whatever reason, I don't know what happened. You ever just choke on something, not because you ate too fast or whatever, but because like maybe there's like tiny little particles that you just didn't quite break down all the way. Well, with M&Ms, that candy shell, especially if the M&M has nuts in it, sometimes you get little shards of something, right? Little sharp shards. Well, I started choking like an hour ago, and it is taking me a good 30 to 40 minutes to finally stop choking. I was choking on and off for like 40 minutes. And have you ever had it where no matter how much you drink or eat to try to get rid of whatever is in your throat, it's not like a giant piece of food. It's like almost like, not to be gross, but like a phlegm, and it just wants to hang here, and like you'll cough a little bit and it'll come just up enough that it's higher, but it doesn't leave, and then you'll swallow a bunch of stuff and it'll go just low enough that it's lower, but it doesn't leave. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because that's what happened to me just before I went live and my TV stopped working and I had to change my Facebook password. This is what I'm talking about. I was having a perfectly normal, fine day of Friday the 13th, and just all of a sudden, the poop hit the fan. All of it. The fan went everywhere. The poop went everywhere. But like, I can't say that I'm having a bad day, Tanya, because the day was great. I had 2 jobs. They went very well. I Like everything went well with that. I have no complaints about that. I went grocery shopping. Everything was fine. I came home. I had a great meal. I have no complaints. It just everything happened in the last 2 hours. Uh, Mr. Tibu says, "Do you remember the gummy blob?" Of course, I remember the gummy blob. Gummy blob and we had a special connection, and I was very sad for the gummy blob to be he or she had to leave me, unfortunately, and go be in the world. And I don't know where the gummy blob is anymore. I miss it terribly, but we'll always have that video, and I really am glad that you were there for that video, Mr. Tibu. Marx says, while we were on the final stretch, we heard eerie music. It wasn't music on a truck on the highway, and some other sound. Okay, this is the beginning of your story of how you had a weird incident happen while you were walking, right? And you said you're going to put it in chunks, and I just read chunk number 1. Okay, I'm with you. When the next chunk pops up, I'm following what's going on. So first of all, we're 15 minutes into this hour, and there's a handful of you hanging out with me already, more than I usually have on a Friday at this early in the hour. Usually everybody comes at the end when I'm closing down. But I just want to stop and say thank you for being here on a Friday the 13th, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. I really appreciate that. And if you don't mind, please subscribe to me on YouTube. It really helps my channel grow. I really appreciate it. The thumbs up on YouTube is also very much appreciated. And of course, you can share this video with your friends as well. So just want to say thank you very much. Mr. Tibu says, bye-bye, Gummy Blob. I know. It's very sad. Tanya said, we tuned in the drama. Yeah, I must have attracted everybody with my extreme sense of drama that you may have noticed that I'm a little bit more animated right now, because I don't usually have this many things happen in a close proximity. I was very concerned before I came on that I was going to be choking during the live stream tonight. Thankfully, it has subsided. I have my water here, but I had to eat a piece of bread. Do you ever have to do that when you're choking? I just ate a piece of bread, just nothing on it. I didn't toast it. It was just a blob of bread. I just had to kind of force that down my throat to try to clear things up. I think that did help, actually. Mark says, edit. The sound was a truck on the highway and something else. Okay, all right, I'm following you. All right, let's shift gears a little bit away from Friday the 13th. I hope that you've had a good Friday the 13th, those of you watching, and I hope it hasn't been too crazy for you. Mine certainly has felt a little strange in the last 2 hours. I'm going to clean my glasses off because that is distracting me. Bread can fix so many things, says Tanya. I agree. And as those of you who are popping in right now must have realized, everyone's comments appear here in the corner. And so if you feel like chatting with me live, you are more than free to do that. I would welcome anybody chiming in, and I'll do my best to include you in the conversation, because this is a live stream after all, and I like to be engaged with all of y'all as much as I can. So besides Friday the 13th, what's been going on? Well, last week, I believe I was working on Scene 42. And Scene 42, I'm happy to say, is done. It took me a grand total of, I believe, 11 days. It was 59 drawings, which I think might be the closest drawing number to drawings per second number that I've done so far. Don't quote me on that, but I just think that's what it was. And here's what I mean by that. Scene 42 is 5 seconds long. I'm animating at 12 frames per second. If you take 12 times 5, you get 60. And so I, in theory, should have had 60 frames or 60 drawings in this most recent scene. I didn't have 60, I had 59. But what happens all too frequently is I'm maybe somewhere between 15 to 20 drawings less than what the required amount would be. And it's not to say that I'm not doing enough drawing. It's to say sometimes I have moments where a character will hold a pose, or whatever, for a little bit longer than normal. And so because of that, I don't need as many drawings, right? For whatever reason, that didn't happen in Scene 42. And I ended up with 59 drawings out of the 60 that I was thinking I was kind of aiming for 60 and I got to 59. So that was kind of a cool thing. There are currently 4 scenes remaining in the warehouse sequence. If you remember from previous videos, I usually say sequence when I'm referring to like a group of scenes that kind of encapsulate one major setting or one major story beat or something like that. So if I'm considering the warehouse as a sequence, I have 4 scenes remaining in that. 2 of those scenes involve the warehouse guy, and those are his last 2 scenes of this cartoon. Now, that doesn't mean I'll never draw him again. It doesn't mean that. But it does mean I'm getting close to wrapping on his scenes for new ad day. And I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit sad. And you may be wondering, why is it sad if I'm not done drawing the character? It's hard to explain. I was talking with another animation friend of mine recently, and he was like, no, you're on point. I know what you're talking about. And the way he put it was, he said, it sort of feels very final. And I went, yes. It suddenly feels like everything that I did in that scene or in that cartoon is kind of locked in stone, and that's it. And I don't know why. I mean, I can go back and fix the scenes. It isn't like I can't, but there's something sort of final about it that is a little weird. And yes, there are other characters in New Ad Day that I've already wrapped on and I'm already done with them. And I did feel the same way with them, but I feel it more with the warehouse guy, I think, because he is in the cartoon, not as much as New Guy, but like he is next to New Guy, he has the most screen time. So I think it's because I've been spending a lot more time with him than I have most of the other characters. So it feels a little bit different. So four more scenes. I estimate that all 4 of those scenes will probably equal 18 seconds of animation. That may change. And no, I don't have to have those answers right now, but it is something that I like to do. I like to keep my head like kind of wrapped around whatever scene I'm working on. I like to know where I am and stay focused where I am, but I like to know where I'm going and kind of try to look at it from both perspectives. I don't know what to say other than I find that looking at something from both perspectives just kind of helps me understand it in totality. And I find that when I'm working on it, I work better. I have a better grasp of all of it if I'm looking at it from multiple angles. But the trick is once, because it's very easy once you take a step back and look at the whole, it's very, very easy to then get sort of obsessed with looking at it from a whole. And then you're like, oh no, and how long is it going to be with this? And then how many more of this? And then then you're sort of looking at too much of the future. So the challenge, I would say this for any big project, but I have noticed it on this project maybe more than anything, is to rein it back in and go, you know what? It's cool that I did the math on where I'll be ending up, but none of that matters right now, because right now I've got scene 43 and that's all that matters. And I have to bring it back in. So if you're working on a giant project, I would recommend, do give yourself a little bit of time to see the grander scope, but pull it back in and focus on one point. That's the only way to really move forward and not get too overwhelmed, because I think looking at everything can be very, very overwhelming. This week I spent some time looking at film festivals. I am nowhere near ready for a film festival. I mean, I'm still making the main film. Maybe when I get to all the pencil animation is done, maybe then I can spend more time. But I mean, I'm not saying I shouldn't be thinking about it at all. I'm just saying I shouldn't be thinking about it too much. So I did it a little bit. I allowed myself a little bit, and then I pulled back and I said, all right, that's enough of that. Mr. Tibu says, I don't like eating hard chips because some chips get stuck in my throat and I have to drink a lot of water. Yes, 100%. And I totally agree. And I wish it wasn't a thing, but it is a thing. It just means you need to chew those chips longer or let them I don't know, let them get a little moist. Sorry to use the word. Before you swallow them, I guess. I don't know. No one wants to do that. Mark says the sky at this time was a grayish blue, and that made the rest of the lighting grayish blue, and that should set the scene. I kind of wonder, Marks, maybe I shouldn't read your sections until you tell me that you're done with all of the sections, and then I'll just go through and I'll read all of them in order. Maybe I'll do that because I kind of feel like reading it in these broken up sections is a little bit it's a little hard to keep it in, I don't know. Anyway, so I started scene 43, I believe, yesterday. But when I say I started scene 43, I mean I made one drawing, and the one drawing I made was this. Okay, so this is the one drawing I made. This is new guy. He's looking kind of I'm gonna call this look dumbfounded. This is the dumbfounded look. Okay. He's sort of perplexed at what he's just witnessed, because what he has just witnessed is warehouse guy completely vanishing in the thin air into a cloud of smoke that dissipates. So he's just watched somebody vanish, and he's very taken aback by it. And so scene 43, warehouse guy who just vanished, mind you, pops in from off screen in his corporeal form and freaks out new guy, and then starts to go on a little bit of like a monologue, talking about the model number of the computer that he should be looking for. And so warehouse guy is talking about the model, and what he's doing is he's going to be walking from here behind new guy, and then comes back out here and goes a little bit off screen and then pops back in one more time to say the last letter of the model number. It's one letter off of the model he was looking for. That's the whole point of this whole story. And then he like darts away and goes off screen. And that's scene 43 basically. So it is going to be probably a 9 or 10 second scene. And then the 3 scenes that come after it, I'm guesstimating, will be 3 seconds a piece. So in the warehouse, the scene I'm working on now, scene 43, this is going to be probably the last, like, it's not really long, but like a little bit long scene. This is the last one. And then the rest of the warehouse is just going to be like short. So that's what I have laying before me. And actually, the other thing is, once I finish scene 43, I will be done with another storyboard page on my wall. And the reason why that is important is because as soon as I finish this scene and I remove the storyboard page on my wall off the wall, the rest of the boards I have on my wall will be whatever is remaining in New Ad Day. Let me repeat that. I keep 7 storyboard pages on my wall at any given point in time. It's the most recent 7, with the one that I'm on is like the one that I keep separated over this way. And then the other 6 are over this way. So I have 7 pages, okay? But up until now, there were always going to be some pages that were not on the wall yet because I hadn't gotten to them yet. Well, once I finish this one, I will pull that one off the wall and I will put one more up, and then the rest of the 7 pages I will have on my wall, that is all that is left in New Ad Day, which is really crazy to be at this point. I just got to say, I'm like, the end is kind of in sight, which is really interesting. Now, I do want to point out that I think I mentioned this in a previous week. There are 2 things I want to add earlier in the cartoon that are not part of the storyboards. So when I complete all the boards, technically I'm not going to be done, but I will be done with all the boards. And there were 24 pages of boards. So for me, that's pretty huge. I mean, yes, I'm going to add a little something extra, but that's going to feel like a major achievement. And working on those other parts I think is not going to feel anywhere near as like daunting, because I will have completed all 24 pages of boards. Thank you, Mr. Tibu, for calling me a good cartoonist. I appreciate you very much. That is very kind of you. Anyway, all right. Well, I've sufficiently soaked up 30 minutes of your time talking about Friday the 13th and talking about what's been going on. I have not done a live stream earlier this week. Sometimes I do an extra live stream where I eat some weird candy and tell you all about it. And I will tell you something happened this week that I was not expecting to happen yet. I was wondering, I kept telling myself, if you keep doing these candy videos, somebody you know is going to send you a mystery candy. I have a feeling, I have a sixth sense. I truly believe we are all a little bit psychic. I don't mean that to sound like a crazy woo-woo whatever. I'm just saying I do believe that the human brain has abilities that we haven't truly tapped into. Okay, let's leave it at that. I'm not going to get too far into that, but I'm just going to say I do think it's kind of like a muscle, and I think the more attention you pay to it, I do believe the more you notice things, and the more you can kind of flex it like a muscle. So what that means is a lot of times I will notice something, and then I'll go, huh, and then all of a sudden, like, it happens. And it's not something that I can control. It's something that other people would be, and like it's on them. And I don't tell them about it. I just make a mental note, and then it happens. So one of those things happened this week. I said to myself, you keep doing these candy videos, and one of your friends is going to send you a random candy in the mail for you to try. And it happened this week. It happened either yesterday or the day before yesterday. And I haven't even opened yet. It's sealed. I will show you what it is. But I'm going to save this for my next live stream, my next vertical live stream, and I will eat these on camera for the first time. They are sealed. You can see that because there's a plastic thing on that with a little sticker and everything. All right. Fried chicken candy. Fried chicken candy. These are not gummy candies, I don't believe, so there will not be a candy blob, Mr. Tibu. I'm very sorry about that. It is fried chicken candy. So I think they are a hard candy. World's finest foul confection is what it says. Fried, sweet, tasty, savory. Okay? I don't know if fried chicken candy is going to be good. It says about 12 pieces are in here, and it is made of sugar, corn syrup, water, and artificial chicken flavor, and some food colorings, which, as we all know, are super good for you. But yeah, sometime this week I'm going to eat some of this, and I guess it expires Christmas of 2028. It's very interesting date that they chose, 12/25/2028. Anyway, I have my next candy that I'll be trying on camera. You're looking at it right here, but that will not be happening tonight, friends. That's not what Friday nights are for. Hey, Stray Kids Fan 101, you're back. Well, thank you for coming back. I do appreciate you returning. Mr. Tibu says, fried chicken candy, who made that? Is it good? Is it good? I don't know if it's good. I don't know. I've never had fried chicken candy, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. And if you're subscribed to my channel and you have notifications turned on, then you will be notified when I do that. But I don't know what day. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow night. We'll see. Maybe I'll wait till next week. I have not decided yet. I usually do my candy videos kind of random. If I'm just kind of feeling antsy and I got nothing going on and I want to just do a little something fun and silly, then I just go and do a live stream. The Friday night live stream is the one that I plan, and it's at the same time every Friday. So ready to read, says Marks. Okay, let me go back and read your story. Marks has given us a story that happened to him recently, and I'm going to read you his story. This was his Friday the 13th story. So here we go. This is Marx's stories. I'm just going to narrate it. Something kind of spooky happened while I was walking the dog. Okay, here we go. While we were on the final stretch, we heard eerie music. It wasn't, or it was music, but the sound was a truck on the highway and something else. The sky at this time was a grayish blue, and that made the rest of the lighting grayish blue. And that should set the scene. The atmosphere, paired with the music, felt like a horror movie. The creepy part about this story is the music, which lasted the rest of the walk. If you know anything about Delphi, and that's the city that Marx lives in, why would you? It does not take that long for a truck to get from one side of town to the other. Oh, so your point of the story is, if the truck was just driving along, why were you hearing music for a long period of time? That's a very creepy story, Marx. I don't have a good answer for you of why that happened, but I appreciate you sharing your story. And that is a little bit creepy. I'm sure when you were walking the dog, things are more creepy when you're in the moment and you're not sure what's going to come next. So it's easy to read something and say, oh, was that really that big of a deal? But I imagine in the moment it was probably pretty creepy. Stray Kids fan says, sorry, I took so long to come back. I had to deal with school, track and field, going to my friend's house, going to my boyfriend's house, and planning when to go to Kansas City to be with family. You don't have to apologize one bit. I am just happy to have you back. I genuinely appreciate anybody who comes back and visits my channel. Thank you. Genuinely. I really do appreciate it. You guys are a lot of fun. And it's just always very surprising when I have people come back just to hang out with me. Mr. T-Boo says, okay, I'm ready to see that fried chicken candy. We're not doing the fried chicken candy tonight, Mr. T-Boo. You got to come back a different night when I do my vertical live stream, the live stream that is up and down, not this horizontal live stream. I don't know what day I'm going to do it, but don't you worry. It's going to happen. You just have to come back the next time I go live. It'll happen. It's going to happen before Friday of next week. How about that? Sometime in the next 7 days. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. I don't know, but you'll have to wait and see. It'll happen very soon. Anyway, all right. I have squawked long enough about fried chicken candy. My birthday is in 2 months, says Stray Kids, and I will be 17 and a junior at my high school. That is a fantastic age. It's also a very challenging age, if I remember correctly, because when you're 17, I can't say this applies to everybody, but I do feel like it applies to a lot of people. When you're 17, it's a very weird time because that's kind of a time when you're looking at colleges. Not everybody, but some people will be looking at colleges. So you're really kind of focused on, I got to make sure my GPA is up. And then like the year that comes after that, you're mentally not even there because all you can think is you're just counting down the days to graduation when you can get the heck out. So junior year is kind of like the last year that matters. And then I would say senior year kind of feels like it doesn't matter. And then when you move out, if you go to college, your freshman year, then you're like starting all over and it's crazy and it's exciting and it's fun. So junior year, enjoy your junior year because that again, I feel like that's the last year that feels very consequential in high school. And also happy early birthday 2 months from now. Mr. T-Boo, when I'm boring, I see you because you live stream are fun. Your live stream is funny. Well, thank you for thinking that I'm funny, Mr. T-Boo. I appreciate that. Your birthday is June 21st. Oh, well, happy early birthday to you. That's happening in just a little over a week. So that's exciting. Are you planning on doing anything fun for your birthday? I'm going to go ahead and turn my screen around because I really do want to get to doing a little bit of drawing tonight. Just a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of drawing done tonight. But I want to do a little bit. So I'll do my best to keep reading your comments. Maybe I should throw a little bit of music on here. Let's do that. Just do a little bit of music. Let's just do a little of this song. Here we go. All right. I'm thinking about going to Principia College, and that's all the way in Alton, and I am going to move there to be in that college, and they have an indoor track. My birthday is August 25th. Well, that's a great plan. I don't know where any of that is. I don't know where Alton is. I don't know where Principia is, but it sounds lovely, and I hope you have a wonderful time running track there. You are doing a history or something like that? A history? I don't know what... Are you asking me, Mr. Tibu, or are you asking Stray Kids fan? I'll need you to maybe explain yourself a little bit. All right, so let's see here. What do I want to do with... All right, so I think I'm going to do some keyframe drawing tonight. So keyframes are basically just like the poses that I know I want to hit. The poses I for sure want to hit. Okay. And Stray Kid says, oh, it's part of St. Louis. That's where I live. Oh, okay. You'll have to forgive me. I don't remember people's names very well, and I especially don't remember where everybody lives. So if I forget that, please don't be offended. I have a very selective memory. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be better about it. I don't currently take any fish oil tablets, but supposedly those are supposed to help. Oh, my throat is so sore from coughing earlier. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's not that sore, but it is not a pleasant feeling. I'm not loving the feeling of that right now, but I'm really glad that I'm not choking anymore. My goodness, that was just awful. All right. Actually, yeah, I should probably, yeah. Let's see here, how do I want to do this? I want to bring them a little closer. Bring them a little closer. Let's do that. All right, what, Mr. Tibu, when you figure out what you were trying to ask, I'm very curious now what you were asking. Get a little bit of this music going a little bit louder here. There we go. Sorry, what I was trying to say, says Mr. Kibu, is that you are making a comic or something like that is okay, my explanation. Oh, I didn't realize you weren't aware of what I was doing. Okay, so for years I have made comics, and then last year I put out a big book, a 15-year anniversary book. Let me show you what it looks like. It's better if I have a visual aid, I think. All right. So last year I put out this book right here. Okay, this came out last year. There you go. And I collected 15 years worth of my comics into one book, and I called it Everything Must Go because it's like everything that I made with these characters. And the other reason I did it was because I wanted to honor the 15-year anniversary, and I knew that going in to make an animated cartoon, I knew that my drawing style was going to morph and adapt and change, evolve by the end of it, or by the end of this cartoon. Like, I knew I would be a different artist at the end of this cartoon. And so I thought to myself, I don't really want to print a book later that includes stuff from this cartoon, because it's going to look so different than the stuff that I've done before that. So let me get everything collected and print all of it now, and then kind of close that chapter of my characters, and open a brand new chapter, which is this animated cartoon. So this animated cartoon is a 6-minute film, 6 minutes, maybe longer. and I'm currently over 2,100 drawings. Yes, you heard that right, 2,100. I'm over 2,100 drawings into this cartoon, and there's maybe another 2 minutes of animation to create for this cartoon before it's done. Is it still available? I meant to get one. Yes, you can get Everything Must Go from bookpeople.com. You can either search my name, which is right there on the screen. You can search Retail Sunshine, or you can search Everything Must Go. But I would recommend searching my name or Retail Sunshine, because those are the more, if you type those in, then I think my book is the only one that pops up. But again, bookpeople.com. I do appreciate anybody who gets a book from there, because I would very much like to continue to be in their store, and I think they're deciding how long I stay in their store based off of whether or not anybody gets my book. But I've been in there for over a year, so I guess everything's okay. Anyway, so what I'm making now is an animated cartoon. OMG, you work too much in that comment. No, it's my life's work. It's not too much. It's who I am. It's what I do. So, not too much. Or did you just mean so much? Well, either way, it's okay. Yes, a lot of hours have gone in. Yes. So when this cartoon is done, the plan is to try to get it into film festivals. That's not what I'm making it, but that's like, I don't want to make the cartoon and then like not show it. I want to show it somewhere. So that's why I mentioned film festivals earlier tonight, because that's part of what my brain is kind of like starting to think about that a little bit. Because even though I'm not done yet, I'm over like 2/3 done, and so now I'm starting to go, okay, this is going to happen. This is actually real. Of course, it's real, but I didn't feel like it was real when I was maybe like 100 drawings in. I don't know how real I felt that it was. But now that I'm like 2,100 drawings in, I definitely feel like it's real. You know. Samantha says, all the hard work is going to pay off. Thank you so much, Samantha. I appreciate that so much. Also, Samantha is one of my channel members. That's why she has that little symbol next to her name. Thank you for being a channel member. When do you do Hangout with Machi live chat? I do it randomly, so I don't know when the next video will be. You just got to be subscribed, and hopefully I pop up. But if you turn notifications on YouTube, you should get a notification when I do the next one. Mr. Tibu says, you are making now an animated cartoon like TV shows? Yes, that is what I'm doing. If you want to see a small example of some animation that I did, you can go over to my YouTube channel, or you can go on Amazon Prime. It's on both places, and I want you to search Sparking Sunshine. If you search Sparking Sunshine, I'll type it in the chat so you can see what I'm talking about. So search for Sparking Sunshine. If you search for that on YouTube or Prime Video. If you search for it on YouTube or Prime Video, it's like 10 minutes long, and it's a little small documentary that I made about the comics and about the animation, and there's like a short 49-second like animation test that I did in 2020, and that's in the documentary, and that gives you a little bit of an idea. But I can tell you right now, what I'm working on now is like way more complicated than what I did in that film. Okay, so if you do watch that, don't expect that what I'm doing now will look exactly like what I did then. It has changed quite a bit. Mr. Yu says, I'm going to search that to see too. Thank you. I'll come back in 10 minutes. Okay. Well, I should still be here in 10 minutes. Okay. Anyway, I didn't mean to go watch it now. I just meant to watch it later. But that's fine. All right. Anyway, lots of questions tonight. I do appreciate that. It's a lot different than the nights when it's just like me talking to myself for the whole time. Or like one or two people. who I do appreciate. I do appreciate even when one person pops in. Just so you know. I was all ready to play some like video game music tonight. I had it like queued up on my computer, but it just didn't happen. I'm just gonna play this little loop. That's just the way it went. Friday the 13th, man. Expect the unexpected. That's what I say. Oh, and in case I didn't say this earlier, I'm not making this cartoon as a commission. I'm not being paid to make it, is what I'm trying to say. So it is something I'm doing for me because I want to do it. If you're wondering if it's like for a TV show or whatever that someone hired me, it's not. It's not for anything like that. Nobody is paying me to make this. And the amount of hours that have gone into it, nobody would pay me to make it. At least not a professional company. You know, technically I have a Patreon and I've got channel memberships on YouTube. So when you guys support me on those platforms, it's kind of like I'm getting paid to be an artist in that sense. In theory, if I had enough people on those platforms doing those things, then I would be only drawing full time. So that's kind of a goal. But I'm just working on it in my downtime. That's how this is working. Which is why I'm not able to put in like as many hours as I would like, but I do put in quite a number of hours every week. It's a significant number of hours. Like this is what I do for fun now. Okay, so Mr. Tibu says I have a problem. I don't have Prime Video, only YouTube. But I searched Sparking Sunshine. When I search that, they appear too much channels. Search Sparking Sunshine and then put my name in it. So Sparking Sunshine, Phil Machi. Make that your search, and it'll pop up right away. Mark says, I am also animating tonight. Well, that's great. What are you animating tonight, Mark? So this scene has two characters in it at the same time. I'm not going to draw them on the same piece of paper at the same time. I'm going to draw them separately and then overlay them later in my compositing part of working on this. The reason I'm doing that is because Warehouse Guy is going to be moving at a different rate than New Guy. He's going to be moving more frequently, and New Guy is going to be kind of like striking a pose and holding it, and then striking another pose and holding it. And I don't know how long I want him to do those things, so I'll make those decisions later on. So they will be animated on separate paper and then composited over one on top of the other. Flip these process when I'm doing keyframes always takes me a little bit longer to do just like one drawing, and the reason it takes longer for me has to do with I'm kind of sitting here and making a bunch of decisions without putting it on paper. I'm going like, okay, I'm running the scene through my head, and I'm like, okay, when do I want to have him do this? Okay, and I'm just making a bunch of internal decisions. So the scene is going slower than usual. That's the reason why. Thanks to Melanie Martinez and Greg Burrow over on Facebook for the heart. I appreciate that very much. Thanks so much. Let's do one of these. Wing. I see the video and I can see your comments. Your comments are very good. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Steve. Mark says, I'm animating my caricature and May, my channel mascot, running away from a car crash. Oh, running away from a car crash. Is that based on a true story? And like, what can you tell me about this animation you're doing, Mark? So is it going to be longer than a minute? Is it going to be like, you know, how many frames a second you're drawing? Are you drawing it digitally? Are you drawing it on paper? Do you plan on scanning? What's going on? Tell me all about what you're doing. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Second animation for a short. Okay, very cool. Well, so then now, because your animation you're working on a 2 or 3 second short, I feel like that puts you in a unique position, so that when I say things like this scene is going to be 9 seconds, that probably gives you a pretty good idea of like the complexity and the length of the scene that I'm working on, right? Some people are like, 9 seconds. What's the big deal? Mr. T says, sorry, but I need to leave. I like your videos and I'm gone, ready to see the fried chicken Candy, I see you in the next live stream. God bless you. Hey, you too. Take care, Mr. Debu. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for your kind words and for taking an interest in my wacky adventures. You have a great rest of your night. Thanks for being here. Push that up a little bit. Go a little bit longer tonight than usual. I don't know how long. I'm just gonna draw a little bit longer. I feel like I didn't get a lot of drawing time in. I was talking way too much tonight. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know where the I'm prawn came from. I don't know. Maybe because I have fried chicken candy that I'll be eating soon, and it was a food joke. Thanks for the heart. Thanks for the heart also to Eden Kimbro. I'm sure I missed the original comments coming in late. Yeah, you missed quite a lot tonight. It's okay. Don't feel bad. There was a lot of stuff, but a lot. Tonight was a lot. I'm just kind of now getting the drawing a bit. Tonight was sort of a weird night. A weird night resulting in me probably having to go and buy a new TV very soon. So I'm here for it. All right, good. Well, basically, I started choking, and that was like a 40-minute sort of stupid thing, and kind of freaked me out a little bit. And then my TV decided to stop working, and then I had to change my Facebook password, which made it so that I couldn't do my live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. So I started a live stream and had to start another one. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna buy it from Best Buy. That's what's gonna happen. I'm hoping for some kind of 4th of July thing, and I'll just have to buy it then. What was that? What was that? What just happened? I just heard something fall. What happened? What happened? No. Oh, just a little bit more Friday the 13th excitement. One of these metal things that are holding up my philodendron vines just fell on the kitchen floor. If you heard that ding, that was this. Yeah, like everything is just, I don't know, man. Today, all of a sudden, got very weird. You guys are here for it. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up, you know? Yeah, it's the 13th. I get it. Yeah, I get it. That's what this is. I understand. It doesn't mean I have to like it. Yeah, my TV just kind of like, I think just randomly gave up the ghost after I was done watching it today. Right before I came online, it started freaking out on me. I wasn't even in the room with it when it started doing it. Manifest it. No, I promise you, I didn't manifest it. I had a fantastic day. I promise you. This is it all happened within like 2 hours before going live. I swear to you, I did not manifest it. You don't have to be superstitious. I'm not superstitious, but I do think there are things that happen that are outside of our control. I'm just saying. Oh, thanks, Samantha. Yeah, I like this one too. It's a loop, but it's a very good loop. It's called Acoustic Cinematic. I like it. I don't use it very well. Alright, I'm feeling better about that. A little bit messy, but that's okay. Alright, I'm gonna call it there. It's over an hour, and I just wanted to get a little bit further along, and probably gonna do some more drawing off camera. But, hey, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Thanks so much for being here. Happy Friday the 13th. next time I do a live stream, it'll be sometime in the next 5 days, perhaps. I'll be eating some weird new candy, and hopefully you'll be here to join me for that. It'll be fun. It'll be silly, and then I'll be back for next Friday to let you know how the week has gone, how the progress has gone. On scene 43, so I'm officially on scene 43 now. Yeah, Marks, good night, and thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope your animation turns out well. You'll have to let me know next time. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your evening, and stay safe this weekend, no matter what you do. And do what you got to do, but be safe and don't hurt anybody. You know what I mean. All right, guys, take care.